Hi, I'm Josh, and let's talk about practicing. In the 15 years that I've been a music teacher, the students that I've noticed progressing the fastest, the best, are the ones that actually practice regularly. It's not just about how much time you spend on it, but how consistent you are at practicing. For most of my students, I usually recommend a daily practice routine. And it's not that you have to spend a ton of time on it, but even something such as 5 to 10 minutes a day should get you a reasonable amount of progress already. Of course, if you are more inclined or if you have the free time, and for different age segments, I would say it's very, very different. If you have more time, you can practice more and you will progress faster. But the ones that progress the furthest are the ones that have the most consistent practice routine. So I always recommend everyone get at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, but you must do it every day. This is especially crucial for if you are very, very new to guitar playing or to drums, any instrument for that matter, particularly at the beginning when you are the first 21 days. They say that you build up a habit in about 21 days. So if you can hold out for 21 days and have some consistent practice in that 21 days, it seems to help students just progress faster. My basic recommendation for practice to build up the habit is to practice for just 5 to 10 minutes a day, every day for the first month. 1 month, you get more than 21 days. So obviously you would have built up a little bit of a habit. For students that are in school, usually I would recommend anything from 5 minutes to 30 minutes because especially at the beginning your hands actually get tired. Let's talk about just from the point of view of a guitar student. At the beginning when you are a guitar student, your fingers are not going to be very, very tough yet, so you will feel actually a bit painful, especially on the fingertips. And this will still go on honestly all the way up to 6 months and you will still feel that it is painful to practice. However, the first thing you will notice after a month or two of practice is that you can practice for a longer time. And that's because you have built up a little bit more tolerance to the discomfort of practicing. The pain that you get is usually a pressure kind of pain. And the first month or so, you will actually notice that your fingers are still sore the next day. But as you practice and you get used to it, eventually within 3 to 6 months, you will find that when you sit down and practice the next day, you're not sore anymore because your body has kind of adapted to the so-called pain of the guitar strings, etc. For myself, when I first started playing guitar, I started with 8 hours, and that was only on the first day because the first day I got the guitar, I was just so excited. I didn't really feel it. It was challenging, it was a little bit discomforting, but it was not terribly hard. However, the very next day, I really felt quite sore. And so I still put in that time, not because I wanted to put in time practicing, but because I was just really excited at having an electric guitar for the first time. Before that, I already had a guitar in my house. It was a classical guitar and it was terrible to play. So that's why I really don't recommend students to start playing with a classical guitar because the classical guitar say that at that point in time I was 13 and a classical guitar for 13 years old hands is not exactly the easiest to press because the strings are really thick and thick strings supposedly spread out the pressure over a wider space, but for me it just feels like it's bigger, harder to press and more uncomfortable. The electric guitar strings felt way easier to press. Of course, I was not able to practice the 8 hours the second day. I played for about 4 hours and then for the rest of the week I actually played for about 6 hours. I was fortunate enough to start playing guitar during my school holidays, so I actually could play for that long period of time. So within a week, I felt like I could play already. Within a month, during that 1 month of school holidays, I really had picked up guitar and just enjoyed playing it. So when I was back in school, as soon as I get back from school, I would pick up the guitar and play. And I'll get yelled at by my mom because I'm supposed to do my homework. It was one of those things where it didn't feel like practice because I was excited to do it. They say doing anything new should be a mix of 75% of excitement and 25% fear. But at that age, learning something that you wanted to do, it felt like 100% fun. So when we talk about practicing, honestly, if you are forced to learn an instrument, the idea of practicing is less fun and a lot more you gotta do it, which for me is a little bit frustrating because a lot of people that I've seen progress far and fastest because they want to do it because it's fun. It's something that I'm worried about for students but at the same time, I hope to make it fun for those that learn with me, and so that it's less about just having to do it and more about having fun with the process of doing it. And that's actually why I also have moved away from just saying that, oh, you must do this technique or you must learn this specific technique before you can do songs. Because I feel like there needs to be a big element of fun so that the technique is applied. But balancing that out is the challenge of a teacher. We have to figure out how to explain and how to help the student to understand that the technique that you learn in one song can also be applied to other songs, and not everyone thinks that way. So a lot of people, at least on students' ends, tends to be wired that, oh, this technique is only for this song, and this general technique that you learn, that one you can use for all songs. So I feel that the way that people learn is very, very different. So some students I would emphasize more on technique, whereas some students I can let them learn their songs and they can still carry forward the techniques there into the other songs. It's a balancing act of figuring out what kind of student they are, and then helping them to find the best practice techniques and the best suited practice regimen for their own ability and understanding. But at the end of the day, practice is really important because they say practice makes perfect. I feel like to get to that perfect point is kind of crazy. You gotta be spending like 20,000 or more hours on it. I would say to get to that close to perfection, I would say it's closer to 100,000 hours or more. But don't be discouraged because of that, because I really feel that music is really about the journey. Up till today, I'm still learning, and this is after 25, 30 years of playing. Yeah, maybe even more than that. I'm 39 now, so I would say it's closer to about 35 years of playing, and I'm still learning, and I still have so much more to learn. So the more that you learn, that you know, the more you realize that you don't know everything because there's so much more to learn. And that's very exciting because probably until the day I die, I will still have new things to learn and still be able to enjoy that process. So that's my journey. I hope that this helps you with your journey in music.